everybody. It's Amanda from LHL Organizing. And today I want to talk about a new series that I think I'm going to do, which is really focused on using organizing as a tool, organizing and decluttering as a tool rather than as the end goal or the desire. Because I think it's really important people understand that we are trying to declutter things for a specific reason. There's something you wanted to do with your life that you weren't doing because you're cleaning instead or whatever the case is. And I find a lot of people fall into the trap of, I have to do this 100%, I have to put all my effort into it, or it becomes the thing that they use to stall with. This is especially true when you see people going too far into minimalism. So minimalism's great, but it can become a stalling technique. So if what you really wanted was to have a great social life, but you're spending all your time at home getting rid of stuff, then we really need to look at, like, is this serving you as a tool now? And if not, what can we do to change it? So that's what this series is about, and I hope you enjoy it. Today's episode is going to be about our digital photographs. So the wonderful thing that we all know about is our phones have cameras in them. They have for, is it going on 2 decades now, pretty much? Like, you know, the early flip phones, we really didn't like the cameras, so I'm not really counting those years, but we've had really great cameras on phones for a solid decade, really probably 2 decades. 05, I would say really close to 2 decades. So a lot of us have quite a few of our photographs, if not the majority of them, on digital copy. But how often do we really look at them? So this is what we're exploring today. The main barrier that I see is that a lot of people focus on the negative. They tend to forget the cool things they've already done, the awesome friends that they've had, and focus on whatever negative thing is in the media today. And so I think by participating more in your own history and looking at opportunities to celebrate and even photograph the good times, and then let yourself see them regularly, then we'll get the opportunity to have a more positive outlook about life. Now, granted, you have to fight the negative because we're wired that way. We're wired to be a little more attuned to the negative. But if you can find a way to curate the best of the best photographs and also find a way to display them regularly or put them in front of yourself somehow on a regular basis to acknowledge and enjoy the good times. So one of the barriers is having way too many photographs, right? Now that they're in our cameras, now that the phones are in our cameras, does it seem like that's true sometimes? It kind of does these days. But now that cameras are so accessible, they're on our cell phones are with us all the time, so it's so easy to snap a picture. I don't know if this is you, but I have used my camera to shop for a long time. So I'll be walking around window shopping and I'll snap pictures of products and their prices. I've done this even for content for videos and blog posts before. You might have seen some of those. If you have, a lot of times they linger on my phone, and so I needed a technique that was easy to go through and get rid of these things, but it took a little while before I'm really ready to get rid of them. And so I found the day of the year search and declutter to be the best method for me. So we take whatever day it is. I'm planning on publishing this soon, but I don't know which date. The day I'm recording it is April 3rd, I believe. So I have a short. You can watch me do it on my app, but you can do this on the computer or on your app, whatever is your main cloud photo storage. You type in the day of today, just the day, no year, and it pulls up every photograph that you ever took on this day that is in your cloud storage or on your device. It should pull both. And then you can look through everything you've had for several years on April 3rd. So you're going to put in April 3, not 3rd, right? No RD on that one. And then you can pick the ones that were like, oh, I was shopping and so I took a picture of, this thing on the shelf at the store and the price tag, or I took a picture of the snow. It's a random picture of snow. It really has no context. And so, if it's not this beautiful sunset or something you want to display, maybe that one can go, right? Or it might be pictures you took for insurance purposes, like damage to a car or damage to your house. All of these things are really great things to hang on to in the short term. It's great that you had the phone to be able to take them when you needed them. But in the long term, we really don't need them taking up space, right? You've dealt with them, you uploaded them, you did whatever you were supposed to do, and now you can get rid of them. But sometimes it takes a while. And so I like looking at it every year that way. So I do try to pull videos off more frequently, but for photographs, I think this is a very good technique. So just every single day you go in, if you miss a date, you can easily do 2 in one day. Like, it doesn't pull up hundreds and hundreds of photographs. Usually, maybe the first time. But hunt for the best one. You don't need, a lot of times we stand in the same pose and then take 6 photos. We don't need all 6 of them. Pick the best one, delete the rest, star your favorites. Like if it's a really great one, star it, right? Save it to your favorites so that you can use it. And I think the excess is truly a big hampering on us picking what we want to view and then trying to view it realistically. So another obstacle, another barrier is that a lot of times we don't actually have photo frames anymore, or we don't print photos, and so there's nowhere to display these very awesome photos. So one of the solutions would be to get a digital frame, but if you threw 1,000 photographs on a digital frame, you're not going to spend a lot of time on your favorite photos. So instead, I would recommend that you send like favorites or a small curated list, and that as you're doing this day of the year declutter, you're marking and adding new ones at the same time. Very easy to do. And I would highly recommend that. As far as which types of frames to use, I'm noticing a trend change this, and so I don't have a good answer for you yet. I really liked, I think it's called Nixplay. We used it with my grandmother for a long time, and the early ones were kind of glitchy, and she could not troubleshoot her own glitches, so somebody would have to come in and fix it all the time. Anytime they lost power. They got a lot better, and tons of people I know have them. And it's very easy to share too. So if you want to take a goofy picture and send it, you can. The problem is they have just now added a subscription. So over a certain number of photographs, you have to pay monthly for the storage. And they no longer have a card slot where you can manually add photos. So normally that would have been my suggestion, but nowadays I'm not sure who I would go to. I think it would be a little bit better if you could pick a frame that works with, like, I'm a Google platform person. I have a Google Pixel. My photos are on Google Photos. So I would want one that could sync to my Google Photos and I can pick which folders it shares. I think that would probably be my solution moving forward. So stick with the platform that you already have, something that's compatible with that you can have your starred ones just automatically play on the frame. And maybe just you can send or tag specific folders for it. But currently I haven't done a lot of research in this, so I don't know what frames might do that. But that would be my suggestion. And I think this, embrace taking good photos of you and your friends, doing fun, normal, everyday activities, this type of thing, and then try to display them so that you can be reminded that, hey, I do have good times. I do interesting things, and it has been a great year. Instead of all the doom and gloom out there on social media and all the conflict and everybody fighting with everybody, nobody needs that. Let's turn it off. Let's turn on our life. Thanks.